Hello everyone, how are you doing? Eyal Amir here from Modalix, from various musical projects, from being myself most of the time. And I wanted to continue what I've been working on earlier. I've been streaming a lot today, and this is, I think, my third stream. Streaming for like 7 hours today or something, which is good. I'm making some good progress, and yeah, so what I'm working on, if you remember, if you've been watching, is I'm working on a plugin host app and a plugin probably, but I'm not touching the plugin side. So it's a plugin host app that allows you to load your own synthesizer or sampler, piano, something like that, and then add a few effects to it, like add a few MIDI effects and add a few audio effects like reverb, delay, whatever. So it's meant to be something quick and easy that you can use to play live. Let me show you where we are so far. Let's see where we are while my computer is loading things. So as I was saying, I'm working on this VST host app that hosts other plugins. Mostly it's there for the for your synthesizer and for effects. So it's meant to be this thing that you load when you might not want to load like a full DAW like Ableton Live or Reaper or Logic or something. You want to load, you just want to have a synth and a few effects and maybe a MIDI effect like a arpeggiator or something. Yeah, and this is what I'm working on. I want to say hello to Elanda watching here. Sam Arthena. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Sam Arthena. Arthana. I don't know what's up with my computer, but okay, it's getting back to reality slowly. So let's go to the screen sharing. There we go. Let's see if everything works. So there should be me and this. This would also have a screen. There's a screen. Here it is. Okay, so I have this, all good. Very good. So what this does is that it loads an instrument. For example, this time it loads Serum. Here it is, right? I can play through it. I'm supposed to be able to play. Let's see, why am I not able to play? Is everything connected? Oh, because it's off. Turn it on. Okay, good. So I can play. And then I can have, you see I have 4 slots of MIDI effects and 4 slots of audio effects. Let's remove this thing. The audio effect is an effect that I wrote previously. It's just an SVF filter. But I can load an external effect. So there you see there's a few internal ones, but of course I can load, for example, Fab Filter Pro R. Right? So it's just an easy way for you to like change your effects. If you like it, you can always save this. Here's another preset that I have with other plugins. So this one has Keyscape Piano. Keyscape might take a little while to load its samples. Here it is. So here I also have Keyscape with this, and then let's maybe add a MIDI effect. So let's load the Velocity Curve plugin that we made earlier. Here it is. It's not designed yet, but I can make it harder for me to reach. I can have a curve. I can have a multiple curve. Right, so for example, if I'll remove this point, I could be able to just make a curve where it's very easy to hit the louder notes, or instead that where I'm going to have to hammer my keys. that's really helpful for me when I'm playing piano. Yeah, so we have our host here. This is probably going to be a free app, as I think I've said. So there's also a plugin version of this, like that's where you load it in the DAW, and it acts the same way, and you can kind of load the chain of plugins in the DAW. So it's pretty. I think it's pretty fun and useful. You know, for example, I've already found that I've loaded it, and it's just made my piano playing life easy, which is really what it's meant to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's see what we're going to do today. So today I wrote 4 plugins. One is the velocity curve I've just shown you. The other is transpose, which sounds like it's like the most basic plugin that you can write, and it is, but it has a little cool feature. Let's go to Serum here. So check this out. Yeah. Mute the music for a second. So something cool that this plugin can do, right? It just has 2 knobs, a mount and octave. But the thing is, it's a real-time transpose. So if I hold a chord, hope it's not too loud. Let's at least here it's a little loud. Let's see. See, the one thing I realized that this thing needs is a master volume. But I can just filter it a little bit. Okay, so let's say I hold a chord. Right, the transpose happens live. And octave. So for example, I can hold a note and I can play with this. And of course, you can load more professional plugins, like you can load a plugin like Eon ARP and do more complex arpeggiation. Cool. So this is what this thing does. Hopefully you agree with me that it's pretty cool. So let's talk about what I'm doing today. So I have a few tasks that I have to do. And in my list of tasks, one of the things I have to do is to create these pre-made plugins for today. So one is a few of these transpose, velocity curve. We talked about them. The rest are this one, the Clipper, SVF. We've done those today as well. And the next one needs to be an internal synthesizer. This one is going to be the most basic synthesizer you can imagine. Probably, maybe 2 oscillators, ADSR, maybe a filter, ADSR, and that's pretty much it. So it's going to be the most basic thing, and it's the only reason why it's there really is to help you first of all test things, like so you have a chain. Maybe you don't have any plugins installed, you can still play. Like, you're not stuck without anything that makes sounds. So we wanted to make sure that even if you start this thing, the chainer, you have nothing, then you can still play. So yeah, this is what we do today. We got a piano. We need a synth. So let's get started. Let's bring back my relaxing AI music. Okay. So this is here in the module. The module is called chainer. So there needs to be 2 things. One is the state. The other is the audio. Those have to be separated. So let's call this synth. I really want to change the namespace here. I don't love the namespace that happens right here. Let's take, so let's copy this. Let's call this synth, I guess. I'm gonna change this to have some more specific namespace. I don't know if I love this. Okay, so same. And the audio. Pasting one of the other classes. I think this would be something like I have a module called EA oscillators. Okay. Good. So let's see what this thing is going to do. Oh, and one last thing I need to do is I need to register this. There's a register place where everything on the list gets registered. So that I would add synth buses. Okay, and then going to what was I? Here. Synth. Yeah, so this is MIDI effect. No, produce MIDI. No, accept MIDI. Yes. Good. And I need to do the prepare thing, and I need to do the processing. Good. So I'm going to use my class. It's called let's do another class here called synthesizer. I think it's going to be a little different. It's going to be synth struct synth. Maybe I won't call it synth. We'll see. But anyway, this should be something like a synthesizer. And the thing is using, I already have this thing called an MPE synth. And the thing needs, what synth needs is something of, it needs to accept a voice. So let's start with a voice. A voice. I have something on ADSR built in, right? That's nice. Let's do it myself. MPE. Voice. So this needs to have the voice. Synth. I think it takes a number of voices, like 16. That should be probably fine. 16 voices for a dummy synthesizer. This basically needs a couple functions. Just probably prepare. Something like double SR int block. SR block. This is just stereo here, and then process buffer and MIDI buffer. Synth process. There'll probably be additional things happening in here, but we'll see how far this goes before just forwarding everything to the synthesizer. The main things are going to happen in the voice. So the voice needs a couple of things. First of all, let's include EA oscillators and probably EA filters. The models I already have that should contain most of what I need, hopefully. Yeah, so I already know that I'm going to have a couple of oscillators. So I would start with I'm going to go to the state, and I'm going to probably define a few parameters. Yeah, kind of in resonance, that's fine. Strength, we'll see if it matters, but whatever, that's okay. Let's add a few other ones. Let's do choice param, get oscillator type 1 or something. Type 1. This is going to take a oscillator type 1, or let's do oscillator 1 type. Oscillator 1 type. 1 type. I need something to give me the choices, so let's do something like a string array get inline string array get OSC choices. This would return sine, saw, square, triangle. What else do I have? They're already built in. Noise. Let's do noise. I think I have noise in there. You know what? I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do. Let's do something like oscillator params. It'll be nicer. I'm going to do a sub param list. And this would just have this thing called type, because I'll probably add more things to this. This just makes more sense to do it like this. Type, get oscillator choices, and 0. So let's make saw the default. It's going to be more ergonomic saw. So this is the type. The other parameter is going to be something like let's just do volume, right? So volume param. Volume. I think the defaults for this parameter should just work. And what else do I need? Usually I can do something like tune or something. I don't know. But octave might be good, I guess. Yeah, maybe I'll do. I don't know. Let's start with not tuning it. I'll add this later. So obviously params add type all. So I'm adding these, and then this would have oscillator 1. 2, and I have this thing called add list. OSC1. Awesome. And let's. What else do I need? Probably stuff like ADSR, right? So let's do something like this. ADSR. Rams. I think I already have. Do I have a class like this already? Is that actually a parameter list? No, right? That is the conversion. Okay, so attack, hold, case, thing, release. Okay, I think I'll just do ADSR and then do. Attack. This will do 0.001. Something one default one. default 0.001. And then we need decay. Sustain. Release. Sustain needs to be full. I think it's 1 something. And decay should also be basically, I think decay is like percentage if I remember correctly. Not sure about this, but I'm hoping. Release could be a bit shorter, I guess. Okay, and ADSR params, add, tac, okay, sustain, release, and this should also give me parameters. Let's get params. This is something the synth class is about to use to get the parameters that it needs for the oscillator. Good. So I got this. I got some. While I'm here, let's make this cleaner. Let's do filter params. This and then add lists. Filter. Okay. I think that's good. And I probably need like a master volume for this thing, like a volume parameter, the volume. Oh, I don't need this. Okay. Okay, that's good. So this is the basic things I need in the state. Hopefully, I have no idea, but I have the ADSR, have filter. I might add a filter envelope, might add unison. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to push this too far because the idea of this is to be good enough to have some sounds so that you will understand how this works and will want to use your external plugins. So it's not meant to be like some high-end synthesizer, but it should be, something that sounds okay. Okay, so then now I need go to the audio side. Right here, synth. Okay. So the voice class needs to do a few things. First of all, it would need all these parameters. So this would be called something like how do I call this thing? Params. So it needs the params. Params. PR, and then the synthesizer itself. It needs the params for out to voice. voices, voice params equals. That's good. So this needs to do a few things. The main thing that it needs to do is it's got note started, note stopped, and process. These are really the three main things. Probably a bit more, but these would be. Oh, and prepare. Prepare is very important. Prepare. Good. So the things that it needs to do is first, let's do a struct oscillator because I'm going to have multiples. Oscillator needs. I have this thing called oscillators. I have an interpolator. Right. Yeah, and it needs. I need that wavetable, so I'll handle it for a second, and then I need. What else do I need here? Yeah, I guess I just need that. So, do we need something else in the oscillator? We'll see. Okay, so I might do this. This is something like avoid prepare. Start and block. Prepare. Start block. And this should have a process. Oh, but this should probably also have like a start, like reset. Is it this to start the note? Yeah, so void start note. Okay, and then void process. This also needs the frequency, so it should be something like double frec. So interpolator, process, buffer, frec, and it needs the table. Okay, the table is the main thing, I guess. So this needs an oscillator params, which this should probably be initialized with. So params to use. And then, so this is the table, right? So it's gonna be something like, so I need a way to get the wave tables. Let's just struct wave tables. I think I called it, not wave table, let's do, yeah, I need to be another struct because I actually need this one to be shared or even to be static or something. So this has to be wavetable tables. Something. Yeah, so here I need an array of these. So I need an array of let's see, I have sine, saw. Let's have a look at the state. I did sine, saw, sine, square, triangle, noise. It should be fine, I guess. 5 oscillators. So table 5 for now. Tables. So tables. Saw float. Okay, so 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and this would be sine. Square. Triangle. I don't think I have noise, so this might be a perfect time to have that. Basically, these are just template functions that the generator will create once to create the table. So let's do noise. It's going to be a good add-on for this. And all this needs to do is implement get wave y. So this would return probably just share a random object, so juice random objects and return random next float. That's pretty much it. This is only is going to get called once, basically. So let's go to noise. Well, let's be more specific about this. Call this white noise. White noise. Okay. All right. So these are my tables. And then I will just do like line. Index, and this would return singleton cat. No, I'll still do tables, and I need this because no, I can just call this at some point. I can just do something like, so let's just do get tables dot tables index dot table data. This is going to be all static, so it shouldn't be a problem. I might want to make sure in the beginning of my synth tables that this gets called once, so this is going to get something. Just as a way to make sure this is haven't been initialized before the audio thread. So this would be get table params params dot type. Good. So this is pretty much the oscillator class. So the voice needs an oscillator class. You know what? I don't need to have it stored. I'll just pass it the parameters when I'm processing. It's just like pointless. No need to initialize this with anything. It's a bit cleaner, I guess. Const as well. Alright. So here I have something like oscillator. OSC 1, 2. Preparing this, right? So prepare needs to prepare oscillator 1, prepare SAR block. So we need to always prepare with the right sample rate on block. HFR sub processors, including the oscillators. Now when the node started, we need to do OC1 node started to start now. Good. And just realize, is my interpolator adding to the buffer, or I'm not sure. You know what? I think it's replacing the buffer, so that means I might need to allocate an external buffer in there, which isn't too bad. I can do that. Yeah, I don't think it's adding anything, it's just replacing. So I'm going to need to have an oscillator buffer. Nothing can actually be shared, so... Oh! Hey David, my voice is hard to hear. Okay, interesting, so let's fix this. First of all, I can lower the music. Oh, thank you so much for telling me. Let's see what I can do here with my voice. I can make my voice a bit louder. I hope it's not going to eventually clip. Does it sound better right now? Is this better? What I'm doing? Ooh, is this okay? Let's see what does this say here? Audio. Okay. Should be okay. I'm hoping, right? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for telling me this. So just to back up, I'm writing this VST host app that launches plugins. And it allows you to load synthesizer and effects. And I'm just writing a very basic, the most basic synthesizer, just so that whoever installed this is going to have something to use. I think it's going to be difficult. Like sometimes you install a program, you have no plugins. It's very frustrating to have no sounds. So I want to make the most basic synthesizer. Yeah, pretty much. So I think what I do is very often is I have this thing called let's call it voice shared. I do a lot with things that have to be shared between voices, like these temporary buffers. So this can have these parameters, as well as I will have something like OSC buffer. And I'm doing this because I'm going to need OSC buffer. Yeah, because I'm going to need set size, one channel for now, one channel, and block size. So I do that because, for example, stuff like temporary buffers, if I allocate them per voice, it's just going to be inefficient. Like just a lot of jumping in memory between the voices, and there's no reason to do that. So I like to share as much as I can between voices. So this is going to have voice shared equals null. And instead of setting the parameters, I'm going to have the voice shared here. And so here I would store the parameters so they can access them, and this would be voice shared equals shared. So that's how I'm going to be I have shared stuff between voices, which is probably going to come in handy in other things. So I've done this, that's great. Now note stopped. So let's start dealing with the ADSR. It's going to be a good start to see that we're getting sound. So I need the ADSR processor ADSR. When I'm starting the note, I need to do ADSR note on or start note. I forgot. Start note. That's good. And then when I stop the note, then if I'm allowing it, I still need to do ADSR note off. But if I'm allowed to tail if I'm not allowed to tail off, I need to immediately declare that my node is finished, because that will allow to kind of cut hard. But if I don't, I need to do that during process, because that means the ADSR is going to let me know when the voice ended and not the notes. Like the notes going to let go, and there's going to be a little while of processing each voice with the ADSR kind of tailing off until the voice actually finishes. And that's why the note off message is for. So that means that now when I'm processing, let's start that. Hopefully it will start to make sense. So what I need to do first is I need a buffer to write my oscillators in. So I'm going to create a sub buffer of the shared OC buffer. It's going to be shared. You know what? I don't need. This is going to be important actually. I don't know. Let's see. I need to take a shared OSC buffer and ask for get num samples, because this current buffer might actually be shorter, because it's, first of all, the host might give me shorter buffers, but also this is going to get chopped up, depends on where the node is. So it's possible that this would be, if the node comes in midway through the buffer and the buffer is 128 samples, this particular block might be shorter. So that means so I need a buffer that's meant to be like just a view into the audio buffer of the host, of the DAW in this case. And then I just need to process. So I need to process. So the frequency I already know, so I can take that from the currently playing note that get frequency in hertz. And then I can process this with the OSC buffer. Frequency and shared params OSC1. Same thing I need to do with oscillator 2. But before that, I need to mix this back in. Like this buffer is guaranteed to be cleared in my little system. But so once I've finished that, I should be able to mix. I think I have buffers mix. I can mix this with gain, because I already know what the gain is. Oh, yeah, but you know what? I need the gain to be smooth. No, I don't want to just mix in. I want to do this properly. So I want to, in this oscillator, I'm going to add a smooth gain. I will prepare that gain. I think just simple right? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I need the parameters here as well, because here when I'm just starting note, I don't want to have smoothing on the gain, so I'm going to have to use set value now params.volume. This will avoid smoothing. This can be const. And then I need to process gain. Process. It's going to be the buffer and params volume. That's really the gain. Okay, that's good. Okay, now when I'm processing this, I need to give it shared params. Let's see, one. Oh, here I also need to do something like set parameters, shared params, ADSR get params. Okay, and while I'm here, let's do just make it shorter. Params, params, params. Good. Okay. So we're starting the note. Then we're going to stop the note. Now let's do the process. Process. Let's do the same thing here with the parameters, because those are going to be in use probably. And now, whenever I'm finished with this one, I need to mix it into buffers. Mix. We'll see buffer into the buffer. And do this again, so that already kind of signals that this needs to be a function. But there might be more here, so before I'll extract it, I'll take a look at whatever else is left. And now I need to do ADSR process the full buffer, and if ADSR is not active, then clear the note. Let's see if this is going to work. This is I think this is the basics. There's no filter yet, but I think this should be the basics to get a sound out of the oscillators. I do want to add one thing, which is first of all, the synthesizer needs to be here. State params. And one last thing that I probably need here is smooth gain. Okay, so prepare needs to prepare the synth and prepare gain. See, there's a big pattern here pretty much constantly, because like you always like forwarding a bunch of prepare calls, and then you're going to get a lot of process calls basically. And then in the voice you have a few more events like starting note, stopping the note. That's really the pattern that most audio is based on, generally speaking. So let's remove this. This is just synth process, and synth also needs MIDI. And gain process, buffer, params, volume. Okay, so this is a good start. Quite a bit of code here, so let's see if this code makes sense. Let's load my chainer with my synthesizer in it. See if I missed something. There we go. Of course I missed something. Oh, constructor is explicit. Oh, table needs something to construct. Is that what happens? Why did I make this explicit? There's absolutely no reason to make this explicit. Let's not. I need to change it anyway. I'm totally fine with the default constructor for my wavetables. Oh, what it is, I use parameters phase. Oh, right, because I'm not using phase. That makes sense, because white noise doesn't care about where the phase is just random. How's everyone doing today? wonder why this build is taking so long. Okay, so as some of you have seen, this is my chainer. It loads plugins. It loads, for example, Serum. But now it should show internal synth. Very good. So this is our synth. It just has a generic UI generated. I'm trying to play, but it doesn't make any sound. So that means there's a... Oh, let's get rid of this arpeggiator. Load. Okay, I probably forgot something regarding this. Let's see, what did I forget? Okay, this does get hit. See what doesn't get hit. Okay, so I'm processing the buffer, mixing into the buffer. Let's see what gain shows up. I have some things in here. Interpolator, process, buffer, frequency. Right, let's see what the frequency is. Oop. See what the frequency is. Frequency is 82 hertz, pretty low, but params, volume, is that correct? Yeah, that should be fine. What else did I forget? ADSR seems to be active. Oh wait, did I call to initialize this buffer? Oh yeah, I didn't call. That's funny. I forgot to initialize this oscillator buffer. So this, when I do prepare, I should also do shared prepare. Right, because there's a buffer there that I'm writing into, and basically there's no channels there, so that explains why there was no sound. I should, in theory, have the oscillators and the ADSR work. Load, internal synth. Okay, there's some sound. I did forget there's something about the number of channels here, so it is, let's remove this reverb. Nice. Okay, let's so volume. I don't know if you hear this like I do, but it comes out only from one channel. This works. Decay doesn't work for a reason. Okay, let's try to change the oscillator. Sounds good. Square is good. Triangle is good. Noise is good. Okay, we get some oscillators happening. So one problem is that it's one side, and the other problem is, I don't know what happens, oscillator 2 in there. Let's go to oscillator 2 is completely wild. So let's see why I don't know what kind of values I'm passing to it, but we're about to see. Okay, but we're definitely getting progress. So one thing I forgot to do is, after we're finished with this, I want to do buffers copy to all channels with the buffer and 0. So I want to copy the first channel into all the other channels. Mono is better than 0 channels, I suppose. Yes, it's an improvement, you know, one channel at a time. Oh, here we go. So here's what happened. I passed the wrong parameters into oscillator 2. ADSR. Oh, decay time is in seconds. Yeah, but it should still be okay, I guess, if you're right, so still do something when I have very little decay. Right? Did I not send them? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what exactly I'm doing there. This, what I did now should hopefully clear the mono issue and should hopefully clear the fact that oscillator 2 was doing random shit. And we'll see what happens. Oh, forgot to, ow. Okay, oscillator 2 behaves. Mixes with the first oscillator, so that's good. Let's see what's happening there. Attack works. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, that's good. Okay, good. Yeah, so it does exactly what it's supposed to. Great. So when the sustain is on full, that makes total sense. When sustain is on full, it holds forever. When it gets sustain lower, so sustain to 0. Now I get decay. I might need a longer decay time here. I'll try release. So sustain all the way up. So very soon this would actually be a pretty musical synthesizer, I believe. It's not that bad. Okay, let's close this. I can remove EONARP from here. Let's close this. Good. So I think we're moving forward. Let me do a commit on this. So I did two things. First of all, in the library, I added white noise generator. These generate a wavetable. Might be too big of a wavetable, but we'll see about that. And then this is called Live Chainer. Added initial basic synth. That's good. Now let's add the filter. And maybe I'll add a filter ADSR just so that I could have some sounds in this, right? So that some presets could be made. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's do so I need the filter. So it's going to be filters SVF multi-filter float, and let's give it some strength for filter. Filter needs to be prepared with 2 channels, sample rate and block size. I'm completely ignoring a mono synth. This will just be stereo. It's good. When the note started, I can do filter reset as well. And then when I process this before the ADSR, I'm going to process my amazing. You know what? Yeah, let's start with this because I might need one spread pretty soon. So let's do filter. I need a couple of things here. So I need filter.coefs strength equals params filter strength, and then filter process the buffer and params filter cutoff params filter reso. Okay, did I forget something? Hopefully not. This should be able to process the filter, and if this works, I might be might be fun to just add a filter ADSR, which would make this, along with the couple of effects that are already in there, I hope a usable synth for some sounds. I could add more oscillators, I guess, or maybe tune the oscillator. Okay, so oscillator. That looks great. Doesn't do anything. What did I forget? I've been there just recently. What did I forget? Yeah, this looks like it sets the coefficients, right? Oh, because I'm processing the OSC buffer instead of the real buffer. That makes sense. Okay, so because I was basically writing over a buffer that was already being pre-written. Was already basically I'm not using that buffer, so there's no point of filtering it. Okay, here's my synth. Here we go. Let's stop the music and play this a little bit, see if the sounds on this make sense. So let's have a square. Too bad. Let's add some reverb because I have a reverb already here. The filter needs keyboard tracking, and I also don't have velocity implemented yet, but we're getting there. Yeah, this needs key tracking for sure. Okay, so this is better. Now let's stop this. All right. Hopefully this stream is not dead. I have no idea what happened, and something just decided to kill itself. I don't know if people are still watching. Yeah, I might stop this and just